Hello, fellow friends and human beings. Welcome back to another episode with INFP with Tom. I didn't really know. I felt like a bit of a nervousness, to be honest. Just stroked me here before pressing play because it's quite a while since I actually made an update, and I wanted to make it in a different format now because I have some ideas. As some of you may know, I have a lot of different ideas how I want to move into more with videography or audiography or photography for that matter. Speaking of photography, I had I had 3 to 4 5 films, analog films, that been laying around for like some years that I finally took to the developer. And I gotta tell you, I am surprised that they actually turned out quite well. Not all of them, obviously not. I am still an amateur when it comes to shooting photos with an analog camera, and this camera that I do have, it's a beautiful camera. It's all mechanical or all analog, depends how you would like to express yourself. It's from 67, 68, may even be 69. I believe it's 1968, made in East Germany, and the brand is Voigtlander. And I really never used this one, but I did after I moved to Portugal, and I went home, and when I went back I brought this one with me, or I may confuse myself, maybe my parents took it with me. Regardless, I started to buy films and receive some films and shoot some pictures, but I never developed them. It seemed like such a, I don't know, not a big deal, but it seemed, I was lazy, I guess you could say, to be honest. But yeah, I did in last month, and I have got to say that I got a bit surprised. Ouch, I'm burning my hand here. Just bought myself a cappuccino, and I had no problems buying a cappuccino this time because I have a lot of things I actually wanted to bring up in this episode. Not a lot of things, but I got a few things on my mind that on the way here I felt like I want to make. I was gonna say make a video, but I'm going to make audio file for those who are interested. So we gotta talk about the big elephant in the room. And we all know the situation in the world, it's going to an end. Obviously it's not. But well, let's hang in there. We may get a bit conspiratorial here. And before we do that, I like to say that I'm not super huge person like into that stuff, into conspiracies. On the other hand, I am also interested in it because I know there are things, events, situations in history. China is a good example of this, how they have actually changed the history books. They wiped out historical events to indoctrinate their citizens to believe different, to say it mildly. So why does that not have to occur in the Western world? So anyway, things have been moving forward when it comes to more, can you say, legislative or restriction wise, or more suppressive. And I have an experience that happened yesterday. because here where I live in Portugal, they have become even more strict. I mean, we know, for those of you following geopolitical matters in regards to this situation, and yeah, you look at Australia, they're pulling people out of their homes, putting them in camps. America is, UK is extreme. Europe is taking after. My home country is becoming also more restrictions. They start talking about having a pass, a green pass, if you know what I'm saying here. A pass that show that you are injected with this thing. If you are going to gather more than 100 people, I mean, can you see where it's going? Because I certainly feel, at least now, and of course this is not about what I feel, but you gotta have one thing in mind when you're listening to me now. This is my voice, this is my perspective, these are my thoughts. And moving on, I went to shopping mall yesterday, and you can go around, you can shop, you can do shopping, you can do whatever you want. You know, everybody is wearing a piece over their mouth, obviously, and I have no problem with that, not at all. I support using that if it's make everybody feel more secure or whatnot. But with this new variant, I would take that later. When I went there, I was going to the food court. I was going to order a coffee. And then this older lady working there just started with her phone, and I started to speak with her, and she just raised her finger to me, like, wait. I waited, and then she showed me something on her phone which looks like a barcode, or a QR code, you say. And I knew immediately what she was showing me, but then she pointed at me, and I just said, I don't know what you mean. I don't have this code. I don't know. And then I looked to the side because there was a younger woman next to me, and I like kind of hinted that I needed maybe her help to translate. And she said that you need to have pass to show her. And I told her that, okay, well, I don't have it. And I looked at the lady that were working there, and she basically just raised her shoulders and lifted her arms, like, and gave me that look on her face. You can imagine you raising your shoulders out with your arms, just like sorry, or not sorry. It's just like, too bad for you. Okay, so I said, okay, I cannot eat there because of this. I cannot have a cup of coffee. And I want to explain that I felt in two ways. You know, I'm seeing both perspectives here. In one way, in one matter, I understand that this is becoming now a new rule or restriction for, it's going to continue until the beginning of next year sometime. But obviously, you know, lockdown 1, lockdown 2, lockdown 3, now there's no lockdowns here, but they are pushing small steps forward to see how much the population can agree with the given rule or restriction, and just to push enough, just to feel they came across their goal a little bit till there's some resistance, and then it relaxes, and then again, and then move back a little bit, and then push forward a little bit again. And this is what makes me feel extremely disgusted, to be mild, to express myself very mild. And the other part of me, I understand fully that if there is a spread that can be harmful or is harmful for other people, obviously you have to make sure that it's secure. But I am not going to go deeper on this topic now. There is another variant, and from what I read, because I read and listen a lot, and I have to tell you that I listen everything. I listen to mainstream media, I listen to other kind of outlets on media, with other kind of doctors that are not having a voice in the traditional media, because I have to tell you that I listen from all extremes to the very most accessible mainstream media to gather my own perspective. And I gotta say that this, for me, this is about, and people are I have to just say that for me this is about free will. What is going to exist if free will does not exist? And there's so many people that may tell me now, or I've seen in social media, I've seen wherever, they say, F your free will. This is not about you. And I get the point, if you have to think about your fellow man. But what happens if we lose the free will? Can you save yourself if you don't have your free will, really? People should understand natural law. And I feel so scared when there are these people that are so obsessed about being on one end of the spectrum, one end of the issue, that they become extremely hysterical and judgmental towards somebody who is not. Like me, I support everybody who feel the right decision is for you to not inject yourself, or if it's the right thing to do for you. I support you either way, and I have nothing against you. I just believe that this world, every person coming into this world, we are shaped and we are framed into having certain beliefs about a situation. And let me tell you, this is maybe going to be extremely strange parallel explanation of this issue.